A big hello and a warm welcome to all of you amazing and beautiful people out there. Welcome to my channel, the Twinflame Union. In this channeling session, I would be sharing the message that has come from the universal domain, wherein it's being told that the feminine energy is rising on planet Earth and the healed masculines. The healed masculines are those masculines, and I'm going to give all the credit to all those feminines who are doing inner work, because let me finish the message first. The healed masculines are serving the feminines. Now this is a very first of all, yes, the masculine energy is here or supposed to serve the feminine energy. For all those people who think that this is a bit like is it even true, you feel like this, if you feel like this, or if you get triggered by this information, or you get confused, or you think is it really true, then definitely you need to do some amount of inner work in your sacral chakra. You need to do inner work. You need to get into therapy. I would like to say it as candidly as I can. And you need to get into therapy for your chakra alignment foremost. If you have third party blocks, if you still have karmic blocks, if you're still struggling over there, then you also need to work on your karmic release. And karmic connections, karmic or third party blocks, normally they come from narcissistic abuse. Any feminine who has gone through extreme or intense amount of narcissistic abuse in childhood by a lot of females, because what happens is that your mother is not the only feminine who has energy impact on you. It could be your grandmother, it could be your aunties, it could be all of those people, who are very close knit. Like there could be people, feminines coming from some places where the females were practicing black magic, or they were always talking about these things, like somebody has done black magic on me, somebody has done voodoo on me, somebody is doing this, and constantly looking at other women in a very negative light, looking at other women like they are all bad, and we are the ones who were like saintly people, we are the ones who are god loving, god fearing, and they'll do a lot of rituals. So if you as a feminine, you're born in a place like that, and you are, since birth, you are a twin flame, or you are an advanced soul, you're a star seed or a light worker since birth, okay, you'll never like those things, and they will abuse you. They will definitely abuse you in many ways, not knowing what you are and who you are. And some of them even know it. Some of them even know that you're different. You have a shine on you, you have a light in you, but that light will scare them, and they would also want you to conform to them, because you would be a rebel kind of a person. You're not going to do everything as they tell you. You're going to question them, to be honest. You're going to be like, why should I do this? Why should I do that? It doesn't make sense, mama. It doesn't make sense, auntie. It doesn't make sense, granny. It doesn't make sense, whatever, whosoever all of them are. If they are a lot in number, then the narcissistic abuse will be so high that a lot of women might get into same-sex relationships also when they grow up, or every time they meet a very loving, very endearing woman, they might get attracted to her, or they would also be attracting some tree. The karmics would be like all over the place, so they need to get into karmic therapy, they need to get into chakra therapy, they need to get into a good amount of therapies, to be honest, because when you were sensitive and you were little, you did not know many things. You were just a pure soul, you were just vibing, you were just attracting a lot of positive energies, but those around you, they didn't have positive energies, and the masculines were probably too weak. And you'll also notice one more thing, that a lot of people notice that there is toxic femininity, or there is some kind of toxic matriarchy. But when there is toxic matriarchy, even the masculines are very weak, and they are the ones who come across as toxic, more toxic than the matriarchs, because the matriarchs like to get sympathy by showing the masculine as a horrible person. They might get into verbal fights, even, physical fights, but it's always the matriarch who wins at the end, because she's the victim. She's the poor one, she's the suffering person. And feminine energy, if you are a female and you have a male yoni, so in Vedic astrology, we can actually check this out on a Vedic astrology. We can see what you really are. And then there are other planets also. So sometimes, people start reading their horoscopes and they start checking things out, but they don't know what one thing is and what other thing is. And they get totally confused. So it depends on what your lagna is, it depends on what your planetary position is, and then what energy you are born with. Then you need to act accordingly. And if you are obviously a twin flame, a star seed, a light worker, I like to say all of those in one breath, because you guys will all have similar ambitions. The star seeds and the light workers, I would say, especially the light workers, they get into doing things for others since they're very young. But for the twin flames, what happens is that throughout their childhood, they are being told a lot of things about love, romance and love, relationships, partnerships, and a lot of things they see around them also. So they somehow get stuck onto the idea of love, and they constantly feel that in order to be happy, they need to have love in their life, and the love only comes from a man and a woman, or vice versa, in whatever gender, whatever case you're in. And because of this, they are completely never happy. They're happy but not fully. So if you want to attract the right masculine who serves the feminine, then the feminine also needs to know what she's here to do on planet Earth. Like, when would she need him to serve her? When would she need him to stand by her? And it's not like he's serving her because he's a slave or he's a servant. We don't want toxic matriarchs. Toxic matriarchs want the masculines to also serve them, but only for their materialistic pleasures, their personal pleasures, their image building. Everything is about them individually. It's not about the children. It's not about other people. It's about the clan sometimes. It's about some kind of idea they follow, some kind of, family tradition or something. So they will actually want the masculine to be like a servant, like a slave to them. But a healed feminine, a twin flame, divine, sacred feminine, has to be someone who knows that even she is serving the source. We are all basically serving the source. We're all here to do some work. We're not here for stupid things like a lot of people do, and they waste their time, and then finally the time is up. So, and it is grace of God actually, so we should be very thankful to universe that we are getting all this information. So at this point in time, I've told you guys yesterday that last 3, 4, 5 days were pretty dark and heavy for a lot of feminines, and then this horrible news came out about this concert that took the lives of 8 people. That's what they're showing in the news, that 8 people have died, but actually there would be more. But maybe they needed for their ritual, they needed 8 people, so 8 people got completed, and that's more than enough. And it's been also being shared all over the media to inform the reptilians, like, look, we have done this ritual on 6th of November. And if you look at the flyers, if you look at the posters, it's damn scary. Like, I mean, if I would have looked at that poster, I would have never gone to that place. Even you would not have gone to that place. You would have also said that it looks very dark. These people are literally telling the world that we are reptilians, we are the asuras, we are the monsters, we want your life, we will take your life. They're giving out all the signs, but the innocent people, the souls of those innocent people, they just thought that they're going for a concert and they're going to have a good time, and that's it. So extremely materialistic people, if you see, you should know that they're toxic. You should know. Like, too much money, too much wealth is never a good thing. Like, why do we need too much wealth? Why? If you need a car, you should have a car, for example. For your work, if you need a van, if you need a car, maybe you need, if you're working for a lot of people, if you're generating a lot of business, you have employees, you're helping lot of people get their livelihoods. Then too, you need to see what exactly are you making money from. Like if you have a meat shop, you are doing a reptilian activity. Like if you're selling meat or you're working for meat, if you're selling fur, if you're selling any of these things like leather. I remember there's a guy, like an acquaintance, I would say. For a long time he would hang out with me and he would always help me with my animal friends. And I would be like, wow, he's such a nice person, he's helping me out. But it didn't take me, not me, actually for me to figure it out. But for him also, it didn't take him a long time to tell me. Like he would use words like there are expectations, people have expectations. So I one day told him, can you please be direct? Like what the hell do you mean by expectations? Are you talking about family? Are you talking about, who are you talking about? And I started figuring out that he's got a very strange energy. And my animals started dying when he came. Like I lost I had like really healthy pups, and everybody used to say that, you're doing a great job on these pups. And it was not easy to save them from other street animals. Like it was the hardest time actually. I remember I had not slept for days. I was literally sleeping with the puppies and waking up with the puppies. So the puppies would sleep for 2 hours and they would play, they would go crazy, mad. They would drink, eat, go out, get fresh and all, and then come back and then sleep again. And again they would sleep for 2-3 hours again, and they repeat this cycle. Little puppies do that. So all of my puppies were very beautiful. Everything was going fine. But as soon as this guy started helping me out, everything became literally opposite. He had that type of energy. And I remember telling him that, all of these puppies are saved. And he was like, yeah. And that's it. The next 2-3 days later, puppies started falling sick, and I lost one of them at that very time, which was very painful for me. I'm not saying that life and death is, I don't accept life and death. Of course I do. But there are some people who have a very fishy energy, and you need to watch out. And then I started asking him questions. Like he would tell me, I have this business, that business. I knew obviously he was hitting on me and he wanted to get into my pants or something. When we do mission work, we do attract such people also. But one day I was shocked because he gifted me a diary. And he said, you should use this diary. And I was like, I don't take gifts like that, He was like, no, you should. And then he said, it's from my company. I said, what company? Don't you have this company that? He said, my leather company. And suddenly struck to me, he had told me he had some leather business, but I never paid attention to it. But the moment he said leather company, it hit me hard that he is doing leather business. And that's why his energy is so weird. Like I don't like his energy. And even if he pretends to be very nice on my face, but I never like it when he's around. So I asked him that day, like leather business, so what type of animals do you use for the leather? And he said, we use buffalo skin. And the worst part of what he said, so I started researching about it. And the worst thing that he told me, when I asked him, I said, don't you take the skin off the animals while they're literally alive or they're freshly dead or something? He said, yeah, because if you don't do that, then the leather quality won't be good. He said it so easily. He's seeing that I'm taking care of animals. He's seeing that I have a routine where even now my routine is based on the animals. I don't have my own routine, and I don't like to have my own routine because I'm not motivated. I don't have any motivation if I don't have these furry beings around me, these angels sent by God. All of us should be thankful to them, all of us, because if I don't have them, I'm not going to be doing any of this work, channelings or therapies or writing. None of this interests me. I'm being very honest with you. None of them. As an individual, I can do anything I want. I can live anywhere I want. I can go to any ashram, and I've done that. I've traveled for many, many months. I've lived alone. I've lived like a hippie, but then maybe that was my time of universe preparing me, to get ready. But I was not at all motivated to do anything for human beings. And I'm being very, very honest, because I never liked human beings. I never liked them for a long time. It is the animals, and because of the animals, I met a lot of other human beings who are very caring and very loving towards the animal kingdom. animal kingdom and plant kingdom, and it sort of made me feel that okay, all of them are not so bad after all. They're nice people too. And then the circle kept increasing, because there are, just like we were kids, we were humans too, right? We are humans still. When we were children, we needed those right type of human beings. We needed those really compassionate, honest, loving human beings. In a world where there are abusers, in a world where there are sexual predators, pedophiles, monsters, who want to kill children, who want to kill babies, their primary attack is on babies. So we humans who are on ascension, who are on the mission, need to buckle up, because we need to take care of these kids, who come here for ascension work purely. And can't do much about the 3D kids, because there are a lot of people who are also on planet Earth because you're here to just balance out their karma. They did some good things, so they are going to get rewarded here. They did some bad things, so they're going to get punished here. But the ascensioners, they actually choose a lot of things on purpose, because they want to live for other people. So be very careful of these type of men and women, and you can just do sort of a rough analysis on them. For personal sessions, for private sessions on therapies and readings, you can check out the description box, and you can write to me at the sunamoon@gmail.com. However, it's my request, and it's a disclaimer that I give on every single video or channeling, that do not share your twin flame journey in advance with me, because then there's no point of a reading. Because a reader should not technically know anything. If I know so much about your journey in advance, then I can never give you honest answers. Intuition works the best when you don't know anything. Or you can literally say that, yes, if I don't know you that well, then I can tell you a lot about yourself, about you, and sort of helps me also believe more and more in the power of intuition, in the spirit guides, in my masters who help me in every single reading. But in therapies, the situation is slightly different. But then not everyone comes directly for therapy, unless they have been following the channel for a pretty good time, and they had made up their mind that as soon as I can probably invest into myself, I'll do it. So in therapy, we want to know a lot of things about you, especially coming from your childhood and adolescence, teenage. Any piece of information can be helpful. And in therapy, people spend a lot of time with me. I spend a good amount of time with them. So even if it's a 3-session course, it's not like you just get 3 sessions with me. In between, there is interaction going on. So then it's a different thing, and in reading, it's different. But I know readings are very helpful too, if it's an honest reading. If it's not an honest reading, then it's just a reading, then people do readings by email. You can send them their story and they'll give you answers by email, based on what you already told them. So anyway, feminine energy is rising in planet Earth. It's a good thing, because the age of ascension is already here. And the reptilians are going to be active for sure. It's just that they're going to come out more openly now. Earlier, they were hiding behind the mask of a human, or even divine beings. They were literally pretending. Maybe some of them will continue, like the church of Satanists. It's not a hidden thing now, they're yeah, we do this. You can join us. Illuminati is very open now. And they also offer a lot of baits, I'll give you name, I'll give you fame, I'll give you money. You come to me and I'll do this and I'll do that for you. That's always, devil will always do that, or anything demonic will do that. But something which is divine doesn't say I'll give you this, I'll give you that. Divine says, why do you care about getting anything? Why? This is actually an illusionary world. This is all Maya. All of this is gonna stay here, buddy. Nothing, you can't take anything from here. So for Ascensioner, it's not about doing good deeds. For twin flames, we are not here to do good deeds and bad deeds. And that's the reason why after 35, a lot of twin flames, they start experiencing instant karma. And this is happening to those people who are doing active inner work, my friends. So instant karma is going to work for you. You do something negative in the morning, by evening, by afternoon, you'll get the karma back. Because When we get into negative or positive, even when we do positive, even when we do good things for other people, we should never keep a count of it. Like, I'm doing good things for you. Okay, fine. I'm going to make a note out of it and blah, blah, blah. Because we are here to neutralize everything. We are here to balance out everything. So as a twin flame, our job is not to think about positive and negative. Our job is to think more about being real and authentic. So when you're being real and authentic, sometimes you need to even treat people a bit negatively or a bit rudely. Like in my therapy sessions also, I sometimes have to scold my students because they're just not waking up. They're just like, oh, people are doing bad to me. They're crying constantly. So I'm like, okay, you cry as much as you want to, but then what after that? After that, you need to do something, right? You need to get up and you need to start focusing on your mission work. So everything has to be like literally very honest. So honestly, the feminines are the ones, like it's without a doubt. Even the masculine who have feminine energy, heterosexual masculines with feminine energy, until and unless a man does not develop mother energy in him or the feminine energy within him, I'm sorry to say he will not get ascended. At any cost, he cannot get ascended. So this masculine and feminine principle, it's not working only externally, it's also working internally. When, for example, in Ramayana also, Sita, okay, goddess Sita, wife of Lord Sri Ram, a lot of people say that it's Ram who killed Ravan. But actually, it's not Ram who killed Ravan. Mother Earth, the creator, Dharini, Janani, she was really like done with Ravan because she was like, I cannot take this anymore, He's just killing so many people. And Ravan did this during Treta Yuga. Treta Yuga is like the age of, it's also age of ascension. It's not dark ages. So in Treta Yuga, he created so much terror. There were cannibals everywhere. Those cannibals were going to the forest and they were killing yogis. Yogis and rishis and munis and tapasvis. If a very high power tapasvi or rishi would be doing a yajna or a yagya, the reptilians, the rakshasas would definitely go there and spoil it. And it was horrible, like what they were doing back in those days. The female asuras also and the male asuras also. Completely about bodily things like sex and drinking, smoking, making out, having sex, group orgies, whatnot, kidnapping other people's wives and sisters and mothers, eating human beings, eating babies, all those crazy things they were doing, drinking blood. So Mother Earth was like, this is too much. This man has to die. He has to end. And not only that, he was the king of illusions. He was the king of illusion. He created the whole Illuminati thing that you know about, Maya Nagri. In Hindi, it's called Maya Nagri. It was created by him. And he said, whether I'm here or not, this Nagri, this Maya Nagri city of illusions will always go on. And it will be the most powerful during the materialistic ages. Because we want innocent souls. We want to trap people. We want to show them like we can do this for you and they'll come to us, So anyway, he was like, he had to die. And Mother Earth's daughter is Sita. A lot of people might not know this, but Sita is the daughter of Mother Earth. She's Earth's daughter. So, and she was found, she did not appear, she did not take birth naturally. She was literally found in the soil. She was dug up. Not really like dug up, but the plow was being worked upon on the soil, and with the plow. So there is a tractor, we see tractor in the Western countries, but in India we use plows. Maybe in Western countries also a lot of people use plows and organic ways of farming. So through the plow, she came out from the soil. And that's how she left the world also. She directly went into the soil. So goddess Sita, Mother Sita, magical goddess. So Sita is the daughter of Earth. So it was Sita's job actually. She took up this role. She's gonna kill this Ravan. She's gonna end his time on Earth. And she got married to Ram, the perfect man who was completely mission oriented. Completely. as much as he's a true lover and a true husband, because if you read accounts of their love and romance, it can make anyone blush. They were so cute together, so much in love with each other. But when it came to mission, he would be like, look, this is my duty and I got to do my duty. I got to be on the line of duty at no cost. And that's why she loved him so much, because a man who's very duty oriented and mission oriented, whether he lives or he dies doesn't matter. He's always going to be loyal to his woman, you know. So, and then this is Treta Yuga also. So he was like, he's the one who killed Ravan, but actually it was Sita who had taken up this task. And in the face, you would say, in the front it was Ram, but he was serving. He still serves Mother Earth. And Earth's daughter he got married to. So as Vishnu and Lakshmi, they got reincarnated on Earth as Ram and Sita. And every time this happens, they say every time there is a need, they'll come. So ascension is not like, okay, I got ascended and I'm living in, Vaikunt. Vaikunt means a dimension which has no frustrations. So I'm living in Vaikunt up there. We are enjoying. You guys can chill on planet Earth. You guys can face whatever it is. They don't do all that. That's why they are who they are, you know. They say, okay, whenever there's a problem in Earth, we will definitely go down. And all the twin flamers that do it, all the ascensioners that do it, all the light workers that do it, all the star seeds that do it, they willingly do it. No one tells them you have to do it or not. They willingly do it. Sometimes the council of elders would even tell them, don't do it, don't go, it's gonna be tough, it's not gonna be easy this time. And they're like, no, it's fine, I'm gonna go. So only till you don't figure it out, you'll find it hard. Once you figure it out, you'll be like, you will be very grateful for it. Very, very grateful for it. And surrendering is not easy. It's a long process. Sometimes people come to me for a chakra therapy and they are expecting that in 7 sessions they will be completely changed. That's not how it is. I tell them in advance. I talk to them and I tell them that you would need at least 3 of these. But we'll do first because we don't know. Like sometimes there are some very... some of them like learn very fast because they have done a lot of work in the past, or some of them are very humble. They themselves say, I need to do more work. Can you please give me one more session or one more therapy? And I'm like, okay, why not? You know, why not? We should all study. So if you take more courses, then the level of information shifts a lot. From being earlier, it's all about healing the traumas, the inner child. Once the inner child is healed, the inner child wants to do the mission work now. Then they want to do a lot of other things. And then the other challenges come because you become attractive. You shine, you know, you illuminate. One of the final stages is illumination. So when you're shining, you can't hide it, right? You are like a flower. When a flower blooms, there is fragrance everywhere. So then they need to protect that. They need to protect themselves because they don't want any extra attention. They don't want everyone to be looking at them and saying, yeah. And they don't also want to get fizzled out. You know, they don't want to be like taking credit for everything and then losing it out. So they need to be humble too. So it's a process, you know, it's a process. All of these things, it's a process. So don't get freaked out if you sometimes get very low that, you know, things are not working out and I'm feeling this way or that way. It's all a part of the process. And earth life is based on duality. You have to understand, if you're living duality, you keep living in duality, you will face duality, right? And if you live in singularity, you live in one love. So on that note, one love and peace out. And all the feminines who are doing inner work, keep doing it, don't stop. The masculines are serving. These are masculines who are awakening because of you. Because single-handedly, the masculines on planet Earth, no chance they cannot awaken themselves. Just cannot. And this is the thing that reptilians did. They killed the pure masculine energy during Dark Ages. So feminine had to do all the work. And it's true. In this ascension, the ascending times, the females are going to be in lead and the men are going to serve them. In descending times, it's the men who take the lead and women support them. But fortunately or unfortunately, whatever you want to say, we are not born in that time. We are born during the transition. All of us, we are born we're actually born in the time when history is being made on planet Earth right now. So we are born during transition. We are born when the reptilian era or the materialistic, the Kali Yuga has ended, and we have entered into Dwapar, age of ascension. So we can't help it. It was destined. Okay. So yeah, one love and peace out.